So just explain what cross training is in a nutshell.
CrossFit basically started off as a concept where it combined weight training, weightlifting in any form, whether it was weights, barbells, dumbbells.
A lot of cleans, presses, snatches,
yeah.
all those things come into
Correct. So a lot of Olympic lifting, a lot of powerlifting movements.
Yeah.
So your bench press, squat and deadlift is your powerlifting movements. Cleans and snatches are your Olympic movements. Then you have your very few limited kettlebell kind of movements. And then a load of dumbbells, barbells.
I saw you doing a lot of these single-arm kettlebell cleans and stuff like that, which is also a balance issue, I would think.
I don't do CrossFit anymore.
Yeah.
But the movements are so beautiful.
Yeah,
like the body
like
just feels amazing. So it's the weighted movements, and then you have the gymnastics. Gymnastics is basically your body weight stuff. So push-ups, pull-ups, the different types of pull-ups, a little bit of rings.
Muscle-ups on an L.
Muscle-ups on an L, box jumps, plyometrics.
People watching the podcast go and try it in their own building. Most buildings have these big letters for the building. So you'll find a lot of people with broken fingers and all that. Yeah.
And then, of course, your track and field, so running, sprint, cycling, rowing, that kind of stuff. So the idea of CrossFit was you've got three energy systems in your body. You've got your ATP, you've got your glycogen, and then aerobic. So ATP is something which gets over within the first 2 minutes, like a bench press or whatever. Then you have your glycolytic system, which usually goes up for 20 minutes. So more if you do a sprint, you can kind of go on for a little bit longer.
Or half an hour.
I wouldn't even say half an hour. I would probably be stretching it, but maybe 10 minutes, 12 minutes kind of thing. And then you have your marathons and triathlons, which are more aerobic sport.
I'm not a fan of that crap. Take an Uber.
The idea was to train your body more in the glycolytic phase, which is up to 20 minutes, at an intensity where it kind of shocks your body and makes you fit overall. So it has a lot of science. How training in that first 20 minutes kind of thing at a certain intensity actually makes you fitter.
But then you're finished after that, like because you've gone really balls to the wall.
If you've given it your best. So the whole point of CrossFit was some days there was just a 20-minute workout. Some days it was just a 10-minute workout.
Yeah.
Like there's this one workout called Fran, which has a world record of a minute 20 or something. It's 21 reps of thrusters, 21 pull-ups, 15, 15, 9, 9. So the point is, if you've given it your full intensity, you will not be able to do anything else after that.
You're going towards Mike Benzer, Dorian Yates, is it? That train till failure, train less. Capacity is only this much to train.
Correct. Of course, because people spend hours in the gym, and technically if you gave it your full intention, you'd probably be done in half the time.
True. The warm-ups as we age, bro. My biggest problem is I don't count many sets.
But that's the thing.
I do heavy benching, for example, but to reach that, I take about 20 minutes.
Fitness for me or exercise for me has evolved is that you have to train according to your age.
Yeah.
We're not athletes anymore. We're normal people. We don't make money if we don't turn up for the job. If we are injured because of pushing ourselves too much, it's not good for us. Plus, the body doesn't recover on time. It needs a little bit more rest. And there are other priorities besides lifting. We lift because we love to lift. So we'll always choose movements which we are good at to get that lift. There is no ego. It's like, okay, I'm great at bench press. I want to bench press. And scientifically speaking, even if you just bench press, your whole body will still feel the effect.
True.
It's just the way it is.
Well, I'm a big cheater. The whole body's involved in everything.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, please check out his reels. Compound movements are compound movements. Your head to toe, you're involved.
Exactly.
People don't understand that sometimes. They think, okay, I'm only doing deadlifts, so my lower back only, which is rubbish. 90% of the body's involved in the dead.
Because, see, we were never supposed to exercise the way we are today.
This specific...
Even sports only came after the Romans and, all of Greeks and all of that. But before
Haryana.
And
these three places where sports is flying. Yeah.
But there was no sport.
Organized sport, you mean?
Organized sport. Men were
things
hunters.
Like wrestling was there in all the cultures, I think.
I would say
I like your wife, you like my wife. Come, let's fight.
Let's fight it out. Yeah, so in
tribal... different. I don't like my wife, you don't like your wife, let's fight.
So there'd always be, there'd be that little competition. There'd be javelin because hunting, gathering, all that kind of stuff.
And maybe archery also.
Exactly. Yeah. But more from a survival and functionality and necessity perspective. It became a sport later. Even if you see CrossFit started out so simple. Today it's a circus.
You organized the first CrossFit competition in India, is it?
In India, yeah. Called Battle of the Fittest.
Wow.
So again, it was so, like if you see the 2000, I think it was 6 or 7, the first CrossFit games that ever took place, it was so simple, but it was so effective. But of course, as the years, because man cannot handle routine. Man gets bored very easily of the same
Why did
thing.
he get married?
Well, I'm
Mr. Shiv
super,
Bhakt,
I'm
मेरे को
super-
जवाब दे दो. I want an answer from the philosopher.
I can't speak for others, but I can. I'm absolutely happy.
Yeah, you've not said a bad word. It's only the wrong market for me. I sit in rubbish marriage all the time.
But yeah, that's the thing. So man started getting bored and started inventing all these new kind of equipments and new kind of ways to entertain people. It became a sort of entertainment. But fitness, for the most essence of fitness is to keep your body healthy. And from that perspective, even if you trained 2 or 3 times a week for 20 minutes at a decent intensity, you will still feel all the benefits. Yes, for aesthetics, you might need to train a little bit harder, but I think everyone must eventually come to that point where it's more about feeling a certain way and doing what the body actually needs rather than, living in your 20s.